Good evening and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing very well. Welcome to my very dirty kitchen of the house I'm in the middle of renovating, hence having a toolbox in the lounge and a motorbike over there, but you're not going to see that yet. Patrons know what it is, but you're not going to see that yet, so still to come. There's loads of people walking past at the moment, so I thought I'd just do the intro in here because even though I've been doing this for years now, I still find it weird talking to a camera when other people are looking. My KTM Super Adventure is a 2021 model, which is the Gen 3. So that will be the same as the 2021 up to the 2024 models, bar an indicator switch and some colours. I've just ticked over 40,000 miles on it. I use that thing for everything pretty much. It's not my only bike, but it's my main bike. I've done big trips on it, I've done weekend blasts, and I also commute into London a couple of days a week on it as well. The former part of that sentence wasn't a problem. I think the latter half of the sentence is probably what's caused this problem while you're watching this video. The clutch has been brilliant. But over the last month or so, the lever's been very inconsistent on where it is. So sometimes it's right by the bars, other times it's way further out, but not knowing where that bite point is super annoying. And also it means you stall it quite a lot. So it obviously can't be my skill, it has to be a problem with the bike, right? Now for me, it wasn't the clutch plates at all because the clutch still bites very well when it is engaged. So I thought it's either the master cylinder or it's the slave cylinder. Stuck it on one of the many owners groups on Facebook, and every single person that replied that had any form of KTM history that wasn't sticking it in your garage and doing 2,000 miles in a year told me that it would be the slave cylinder that's gone and to upgrade it to an Oberon, which is what this is. I rang up the KTM centre in Hemel Hempstead, who are my dealer. They mentioned about replacing it as well, and they said if you're going to replace it, you may as well upgrade it. And also, the Oberon comes in orange. CNC orange part makes the bike faster, right? So in today's video, I'm going to fit this. I've never done this one before, but it looks pretty simple. It looks like you're just taking one off, replacing it with the other, and then bleeding the system. We'll see, won't we? I'll probably mess this up. I won't be able to ride my bike for however many months. I am going to be filming outside. There is a road outside my house, so I've got the microphone, wherever the microphone is. I've got the microphone on with a massive dead cat on it, so hopefully you'll still be able to hear me, but we'll see. So let's go and do it. Right, so this is the master cylinder. I've obviously got a SW Motec cover for it, a protector cover for it, which might go now because the Oberon looks better. Birds have an absolute orgy up there. So we're going to get this thing off, get the master cylinder off. You can obviously see there's a nut here and a second nut there. That's the bleed nipple. There's a crush washer in there. This is obviously the banjo bolt. Torx 30, which is obviously a standard measurement for the KTM stuff. In fair warning, my chain and sprockets are overdue a replacement. I have a new set inside, which will be in an upcoming video. They will look pretty naff and covered in crap. Case in point. This is the stock master cylinder that will now come off. That is disgusting. This is the back plate. One thing's worth doing, which I probably should have done, which I haven't done, is cracking off this and draining the system before you do the rest of this, because this is now going to be a pain in the arse to crack off. If you're doing this on an older model, it might be worth checking because sometimes there is a little T bolt that goes through this. I don't know where half of my spanners are, so I'm going to use an adjustable. This is a 14mm nut. I think this is an 8mm. In theory, this shouldn't piss everywhere because I've still got the cap on the top. So it should hold some form of suction. Here's the Oberon. So I'm probably doing this all the wrong way. Someone's going to be shouting in the comments, but never mind. I am going to go and get myself some cleaners into my shit garage that I haven't done yet. And no, I'm not wearing shoes because I like living life on the edge. Oh, Mazda Bike sent me some more chain cleaner the other day. Joe, your monkey tires are still here, by the way. So that is why it's leaking. This is the old slave cylinder. This was really filthy in there for some reason, but there's also this seal that runs around the outside, which I think seems to be the failure point on most of these. Whereas on the Oberon, there's no seal on this bit, but the seal is now on the inside. Pull off the little black cover. You should have a shed load of grease in there. Wang in the ball bearing. Backing plate on, push that in there. Now time to bleed. Open this beast up. That is looking very grimy in there. Standard putter-line, dot for high performance brake fluid. Right, we're just going to top this up. So I have no idea where my bleeder kit is. So I'm just using a bottle and some tubing. And then all you're doing with this is exactly the same as if you've ever bled brakes before. Crack this off, pump the lever up the top, do this back up, repeat. Oh, look at the colour of that, mate. That is properly rank. One thing I have found really useful before is this is just a spray nozzle head. And sometimes when you can't get it to suck through, you can just use one of these because it's got like a no return on it. So this is actually a way better way of doing it. I'm going to keep going until this comes through completely clear. Yep, I need to put a little touch more in there. Needless to say, rags are your friend because this stuff is very corrosive. It will eat away at everything. And I've got a rag down here as well. Look at that. New clutch fluid all the way through, people. Compared to how it was, that is unbelievable pressure. All the way in. That is so much more powerful. Tidy this stuff up as me. That's not my arm, by the way. Right, you might not be able to hear me, but let's give it a go. Oh, yes. That is so much better. That's ideal, mate. Absolutely perfect. I guess that means there's only one thing to do, and that's to go and ride the bike in this beautiful sunshine, isn't there? Case in point, being careful with the brake fluid. That's started to peel again. And that's literally from this morning. Really annoying. I'm more thankful for these gloves and this jacket. Halvarssons, obviously. Oh, the clutch is so much better. Oh, hoppage. Oh, even the gear change is easier. Yeah, I'm having to readjust my bike point muscle memory because the last sort of month and a half, 2 months, it's just gradually been getting closer and closer to the bar. The big thing I have noticed straight away is getting it into neutral is way easier. Like way easier. I'm gonna get past this Twingo because I'm gonna be faster than he is. Told ya. That was a really poor start from me. You can tell I never do them. This road is literally 2 minutes from my house. I'm not going to be able to put any of this on YouTube. Yeah, this really isn't a Oberon review, is it? But yeah, overall it's really good. I'll let you know over the coming however many miles how good it is. But so far, there's a shed load more clutch feel there. I can feel where the clutch bite is a bit better than stock. But then I don't know whether that's because I've been riding with it like that for the last couple of months. I don't want to do loads of race starts and stuff because I'll end up burning out the clutch plates that have also done 40,000 miles. I don't want to give myself a problem just because I'm trying to prove a point, if that makes sense. Jesus. 40,546 miles. Pretty good going. Right, I'm going to love and leave you because I'm already going to have to blur out my speedo quite a lot in this video for no reason whatsoever. So thank you very, very much for joining me, and I will see you in next week's video. Funny.